to XRLA. Thank you so much for coming. The beautiful Fine Arts Building, WeWork location. WeWork has been kind enough to allow us to use their space, so please be respectful. Make sure to clean up after yourselves. We have really incredible speakers tonight. Real quick, we just wanted to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Nima. We got Gary over here and Kyle. They're the co-founders. Kyle's in the back. Co-founders of XRLA. We love running community events. We love bringing the whole immersive community together, learning from each other, talking about what we're excited about, and maybe even collaborating. So thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate you guys. The community is our lifeblood, so thank you. So tonight we have two incredible speakers. We have Keith, who is the CEO and founder of Flaregun AR, and we got Cliff, who is just incredible. His CV is just so long. He's an award-winning Google production producer / executive / does everything. So we're going to learn a lot from both of our speakers. Real quick, do either of my co-founders want to say anything? No. Cool. If we're going to go, then I am happy to introduce Keith, who will be talking to us about his amazing app and how he's been able to work with such incredible brands that I'm sure a ton of you guys have heard of, like EDC, and how he found a product market fit with an AR product. So, without further ado, Keith, thank you so much.
Just thanks to you guys for having me. It's nice to be here. Sorry I'm a little late. Traffic was bad. No worries. Thank you for also letting me go first, so I don't have to go after what I think we're about to see, because it's going to be.
Is this on?
Here's one piece of technology that is at its MVP after 5 years of work. That it's MVP compared to, it's kind of like a pretty good comparison of a David and Goliath kind of approach to the technology. So this should be fun. Flaregun is, I don't know if you guys saw anything about it through the posting, but we've been around for a while in the space that it's a social AR network that is the first cross-platform way that you can use your camera and see people, locate points, and discover and create content that you can share all those things with your friends just through the lens of your phone. I mean, I know this is a more advanced AR crowd, so I don't want to boil it down too much, but we basically started out with the whole premonition, the whole idea of how do you find your friends, and particularly at music festivals is sort of where we started in group travel. So we worked kind of behind the scenes with Coachella since 2013, trying to figure out how to make it work in a space where there's no service. We put our first version up in the store in April of 2014. And just so many challenges were really evident. So anyway, we went to work and got on it. And so with them, the big challenge was, okay, it's got to be cross-platform to really make it work. We're kind of a head scratcher because when you're on a group text message with friends and you have Apple and anybody that's on a Google or on an Android phone, they don't get that map. So we're talking about two different mapping systems. So we really had our work cut out for us. But we got it to work, and we knew we could, we would figure it out. We just had a list. So we've kind of, you may not have heard very much about us because we've been in stealth mode most of this time. We filed some IP back in 14, got it awarded in 16. Really just kind of kept our heads down because, a lot of people were in the AR space but thinking about it differently. Many different methods to it, as you all know. I mean, from the facial to the spatial. So anyway, we just, we kind of solve a problem that's both for consumers, but also brands and channels. My background's in film and television. I was an executive over at 20th Century Fox. I was one of the early guys at FX. Ended up, for 18 years in Fox Film. And between that and the ad world, promo world, we realized that we were spending so much time and money creating all this content, which everybody's content creators now. But even at a studio level, the biggest challenge was how do we get anybody to look at it? I mean, we got into the 360 stuff back in, we did Coachella's first, VR 360 capture in 15. And we were looking around with Fox Innovation Lab, how do we get a fit? And this is before YouTube or Facebook were compatible. And we just saw the challenges. We kind of stepped into 360 world and got out because we kind of saw the tea leaves of it's just getting people to see it. Now we've come a long way, but so hardware dependent. So we said one of the first things we would go, hardware agnostic. We'll find a software solution. So what we create solutions for people that have this experiential problem, just being in touch, connecting. The biggest problem, people are lost. They're not watching the show. They're not drinking beer. They're not buying food, not buying merch, and they're totally focused on that. And it happens. I think everybody here has been lost at a place. How many times have we texted or answered, "Where are you?" That lame answer that you get back. So we started there, but we realized that it was really grew into something much more, and that also just the friend finding wasn't enough. And one of the first things was it was kind of like we thought it was like we would get treated the way that we treat Waze. So what do we all do as soon as Waze does their job better than just about anybody else? We turn them off, right? As soon as you pull in, bam, you're off. I do. Save battery because it's pinging on it. So we sort of pick up where Waze leaves off. We're all about that last mile, especially when you're on foot. Whether you're in a city, you're at any kind of event, sports, music festivals, obviously. But in a city, whether you come out of a parking deck, or the subway, do you know which way uptown, downtown is, right? So it's just this first-person sort of point of view that we really started getting into. So I could demo it for you and show you kind of what we're doing, but we also just kind of quietly put a version up in the store the day before yesterday that's just updated. So if you guys want to try it, but I could walk you through sort of the philosophy behind where we are, and then where we want to go, and then how at the core of what we do with technology is we bring people together. That's really what it is. We're a little bit older in the space, more of half of my life was analog, of that. So we kind of encourage that behavior, but when you need it, it's there. So, but if we really are about bringing people together. So how it works is it's just a new way to share a pin is the first sort of stage of it. We do it in links. You can just click the location and drop your location over to somebody, but it'll cross-platform, turn it on, and the camera will see where you are. We're a small enough group, I can just kind of stand it here. Some of the ways that you create your content are like when you get out of your car at someplace, you just drop a pin, but it's like there's where I parked over there. I dropped a pin in front of the thing, but you can drop another one that's right in front of us here. But it drops a pin here, so it's like parking. We have a first setup that is like parking, a meetup spot, your home base at an event. Here's where everybody's going to meet. There's always the first person that lands on site first. They can tell you, here's where you park your car, here's where your registration is, here's where our blanket is. Just a simple, if you're going to the beach, here's where our blanket is. You just point at it and you can send that little link and you can just follow the camera and that flare right to it. We've got it down to really accurate now. We've done a couple of pretty cool things with it this year. We did a thing at EDC, Electric Daisy Carnival, with a shift pod. Like that was a kind of an advanced shelter system. Developed out of Burning Man. They did a camp EDC. First time we did a 3,000 shift pod encampment out there. 16,000 campers, I think, and it was like the plus RVs. And the problem was like, okay, got that many people. Where, how do those 16,000 campers? How do they find this numbered shift pod? They all look the same. It was kind of tricky to go out there. It's another planet. So we built an array we put over the whole place, and we figured out how to map the place out more with map than with tagging. And it was pretty cool. It was a lot of work, but we really got it to work really well. So you can just punch in, you get your pod assigned, 2212, boom, and it'll just lock up and show you right where it is. You can follow it. It takes you right to it. So that was a real success. We're going to do that for the next several years, and we'll make progress as we go and start testing out the ad channel that comes behind all that with the content that's there. And so it's one part finding friends, one part finding locations and points of interest. Then where the community part of it is really within what we're building out is some opportunities for us to potentially work together is in a way we were building out channels. And so you can share all the things, like you go into the first stage, you go out to an event, you're the first one there, and you just share it with your group, or you guys are doing a meetup and you got all the parking, every address that you had there. You can just share that and that whole little world will turn on. So that becomes your channel, And so everybody can start building their own channels that they can share, and you can eventually just come over and just basically, we'll build in a little list and a directory where it'll start with your friends. Within there, some of our other partners that we're working with, there'll be channels where we can come in and start monetizing things around it where, at the base level, nobody has to pay for finding their friends and this convenience and what we built. That part's free. Always going to be free. Never trying to charge for that. We'll get the money from, So, and there's a lot behind that that's going to be pretty fun that I think will not only open up the opportunity for those brands for us to extend all of those digital assets that they already have, and we'll run those through our render engine and we can make them show up anywhere. I mean, similarly to how we do, we just show you channels. What we have in there now is basically just like photo. You just put photos on for you guys. Okay. Smile. And Flaregun, and you just click the photo. But here we go. They just post up the photo in AR space. And that can be any kind of piece of art, whatever that little file is. But you can click that and you can share that. So that could be a flyer, it could be a directory, or be your map for your event. Any kind of like printed thing that you would physically print, but you hand off and becomes a digital asset in the AR space. So that's our thing. We'll grow that into if we have stills, we have video. It's going to turn into like basically a hosted based, business model where you can post up your thing for a certain amount of time and then it'll expire. And so say you're more like an influencer who would go to Art Basel, or you're an art museum. You go into Art Basel and you pick out all of your galleries that you're going to go to. You can share those with your network, like here's where we're going and meet here so we can sell some art.
Hey everyone. Now we're going to have Cliff talk about a variety of new and groundbreaking and breathtaking technologies. And I hope you guys enjoy. Cliff, take it away.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Woo! Woo! Great. So, I'm a little hot. It's a little hot in the room. And the glasses, after wearing them like all day, it gets a little warm. But, so I'm Cliff Baldridge, and I came here tonight because I got the magic leap. And I really like augmented reality. And I've been into AR and VR and Facebook AR Studio and all sorts of television and all that. But I've been waiting a long time for this augmented reality to really finally kind of come where it was portable enough where everyone could just walk around with it. It's not that bad. So just to give you a little background, I'm Cliff Baldridge. I'm from Greenwich, Connecticut. I went to NYU. I basically have been involved with Google in multiple different platforms that Google has come out with over the many years. The first was Google Video back in 2004, and then the first Google Video partners became the employees at Google became the first YouTube partner, their managers, and so I basically became one of the first YouTube partners, and then I've been with YouTube for many, many years, and been at the top of YouTube back a few years ago. So you go up and down and kind of adapt to it all. And aside from doing YouTube for so many years and all different things with Google, like Google Helpouts, this video chat business platform, basically I do YouTube Space LA. So I'm a producer at this movie studio down in Playa Vista, big, huge movie studio, and I can use all the equipment. They have the Google Jump 16 GoPro Ray camera and their whole pipeline, and I can take that out overnight, and so that's really cool. And I've been up in Santa Barbara the last 15 years doing global news too. So I do local news, charities, celebrities, and all sorts of global news. But I came down to LA, so I'm in Venice, I'm in LA, and Beverly Hills, and Santa Barbara. And down in Venice, I decided I want to get like a more of a career job. So the first thing that came along, because I was commuting from Santa Barbara to LA to go to the YouTube space all the time, it's a long commute. So I was like, hey, let me find like a career job in LA. So the first thing I get is running the whole YouTube for Steve Harvey, the comedian, for his daytime television show for NBC. And I was doing it all at home in Venice. So I ran his whole YouTube. They were doing 8 videos a day on YouTube, syndicating his whole show all over the internet, on Hulu and all that. And then all my work and strategy went into all the social media too. Then after Steve Harvey, I found this great role where I'm still at now for the last few years at Genius Brands. And Genius Brands is a branding and licensing company, and we have many animations and cartoons. One of them is called Warren Buffett's Secret Millionaires Club. It's after Warren Buffett. We like content with a purpose, so we're about like educational animations and cartoons. We have Thomas Edison cartoon. We have Stan Lee cartoons. Stan Lee's Mighty Seven is the series we have. And then we have a Netflix original right now called Llama Llama, which is based on a children's book. And season 2 is coming out, and Jennifer Garner does the voice. And then we have, the latest thing is Rainbow Rangers, which is a 3D Nickelodeon show that's going to be on Nickelodeon in November. So I really love augmented reality. I'm not really that into virtual reality because it's so closed off. It's kind of like Guantanamo Bay. You're like closed off in that virtual reality. But I mean, it has its purpose. It's great. But I've been waiting so many years for this whole Avatar, Terminator, Johnny Mnemonic experience of augmented reality. And I decided to wait past the HoloLens because it was just kind of too new experimental, and the visor is just a little too futuristic for me. So what happened was Magic Leap came out a month ago, right? And it dropped, and I was like, man, should I get this thing or not? You know, it's like $3,100. Should I get this thing or not? And I looked all around, I looked at the articles, and you know, they weren't really looking at it for a long time. They were putting it on, they were trying the experience. And I was like, oh, well, let me just drop it on the first day. So you get the thing, you order it. They have this company called Joy who comes over. A couple guys came over to help me fit it. I calibrate it, and then you go through the controller, which is this 60 EOS controller, and this is the Lightwear, which is the headset, and extremely light. It's like wearing a pair of light sunglasses. You can just see everything. It's like light sunglasses, but then it's full augmented reality overlay. And I had the Google Glass. Google Glass cost freaking $2,000 4 years ago. And you know, I love Google. They had this little tiny little image in the upper left corner, and it had some cool features. And this is so new, it's gonna keep growing. And people like me and us, we're the community that's gonna embrace this because it is just so cool. I've been doing this for a whole month now, and so I just want to turn everybody on to this. I wish you could all like just like try it on, but it's like my own little prototype device. But what I'm doing tonight is I just want to give you a little presentation that I made because I just want to, you know, you're an augmented reality community, mixed reality community, and so I know many people have a lot of experience here, but this is a really new device. A lot of people don't have this. Very few people have actually gotten this and used it an extensive period of time, and I'm one of them. So what I've done is I have made a simple presentation going over everything because it's very deep. It's like full 3D internet stack. That's very quick. I have Unity 3D here, And then if you want, I can, and then I'll show a little video of what I've done with mixed reality. But it's all real test, raw, in the alley in Venice Beach at night, you know, just run and gun. And so I have that, and then if you want me to do any more, if you want to stick around, it's a whole setup process where you have to go into Unity and set up the whole build with the Lumen OS, and then you have to basically set up a number of steps in order to be able to run the app, build the app, and run the app through the headset. And then if you don't have Magic Leap, there's a really cool balloons. They gave me a whole bunch of cool gifts and collectibles. So I got, at the end of the whole thing, you got t-shirts and notepads and pens and cool sticker packs. Super rare collectibles, not like swag. This is like ultra rare, man. And so, you know, I like to give people cool stuff. I go to like this meets all the time, like Academy Awards and all that. So it's like, hey, I can get some cool, you know, Magic Leap stuff. So Magic Leap's got leave time. It's 2 days. It's free. You can apply for it. There have been a lot of people in. A lot of people have been accepted. It's been announced for like 3 weeks or so almost. So I don't know if you can get in or not, but I have heard they're going to live stream the whole thing. They're going to have really impressive people there. They're going to have like the CEO of AT&T, the Andy Serkis, I guess his name is, the this guy, you know, Lord of the Rings and all that. And it's going to be an incredible learning event. So if you can't make it, or if you can make it, that would be great. Or if you can watch the live stream, you want to check that out. And ILM's going to be there, and it's just really incredible. So that's pretty much the whole thing. If you got any questions, I'll just throw up my info for a second. But now what I'll do is I'll just run and show you a really quick video for a minute. And then if you want me to go into a little more of the whole demo with Unity, I can do it. Or if it's over, it's over. But I got tons of videos, and we do more tutorials and all that. So yeah, let me just throw a little video up. Now this is extremely raw. And it's all pretty much like run and gun stuff, you know. But I wanted to, you know, throw it together and show you. I have edited it down a little bit, you know, but what I would do is I would really plan, like, you know, when I film red carpets and stuff like that, or just go to event film. I usually plan that out. I have all this equipment, you know, I got to look after and everything. And so there's a way in my mind that I'm planning things out when I'm filming stuff, and with the lighting and the sound and all that. So I take all those things into consideration usually, but because I have this device for such a short period of time, I wanted to just have some crazy fun with it, you know what I'm saying? So I took it to YouTube, I took it to Google, I took it to an Amazon hackathon, and here's just a few things. So that's the main interface. Yeah, sure. Yeah, don't worry about the audio. It's just a little jazz thing. But I mean, see the few. Of course, nothing's perfect, but I'm really happy that this came out. So the things that, you know, I would watch out for if I was filming in the future is when you're doing drastic head movements, you can see a little of like a letterboxing of the DOF just in the edges there. And it doesn't have an image stabilizer, video stabilizer, you know, so you can see that. But, you know, that kind of stuff, like the image stabilizer, you know, I can code that in, and they have vignettes for the edges. But and then I wouldn't film like that where I'm doing the head movements, more be just like straight shots, people moving and all that. So that's the whale, and I mean, it's as big as the whole entire room, and it's stunning looking. The 3D looks so amazing. Now the colors, like if it's the right color, like the bones on that T-Rex, you look at it and it really looks good. And so you have to be aware of the colors. You know, if you pick good colors, it's going to come up the contrast really great. You've got this, that's the Helio browser. You just make it as big as the whole wall, small as you want, put 5 screens in the room. It's just like, it's unreal. I don't need screens anymore. I don't need TVs anymore. I want to like throw everything out of my room. I need like a white square room with like a seat in the middle, a little desk, and then I can just fill it up with all this crazy cool stuff. So we've got this paint program. The main program, so this is paint program called Create. Lets you do kind of like tilt brush, but in reality. And you can throw UFOs up there, dinosaurs, they interact with the space after it's mapped. And then outside, like I don't even really need to map the room. I'm gonna go film some here right before I leave. And I don't need to map the room really because I skip that. It asks you to do it at the beginning, but sometimes you have to spend a little time mapping the room, so sometimes I just skip it and then it works just almost as well. I just threw some sharks in the street and animated them and stuff like that, you know, it's really crazy stuff. So that's pretty much like the whole thing. Just to show you like a second more of this stuff, just scrub through it. Got the UFOs, and then here. But it's like placement, you know, if you place it in the right place, or like that object, that sphere, you know, it's very, very good, the contrast. And then the last thing I'll show you is what I just did a night ago, which is I did 2 final things. One is the gestures. So you can code in C. You can code in C# in Unity to do the gestures. And so this is when it finds the right gesture, it's getting the confidence level of, you know, if it's 100% certain or not. Then the last thing is really, really cool. And so I did gestures with this Phantom TIE Fighter, just like last night. So with the thumbs up, I got it to disappear. With the OK sign, I got it to appear and spawn. And it's just so awesome. So that's the whole deal. So
let's Baldridge, everybody. So does anyone have any questions for Cliff?
What's the battery life been like?
At least a hard hour of constant use. They say up to 3 hours, but I'd say about an hour to an hour and a half of very heavy use.
What's the recharge time?
It's about the same. Yeah. And usually I just keep it plugged in with the hub.
What's the big difference with the Microsoft HoloLens?
So the difference between HoloLens...
He's going to need a mic for this one. It's going to take some time.
So I'll run you through this just super quick. I've used the HoloLens. I have it extensively. I've seen all the reviews, and I've used this extremely extensively. And most people in the press have not used it naturally extremely extensively like I've used it. So they're really not understanding how valuable it is. With the HoloLens, the comparison differences are that the HoloLens visor is too big. And so you put this thing on, you can't wear it around in public like I can wear this. It's more like a pair of sunglasses. I can get away with this. You can get away with this like in Venice Beach at night. It's no problem. A HoloLens, it's too futuristic. The HoloLens is heavier, much heavier. So it was too heavy even on my head. The interface was like Windows 10. It was very square. The hand gestures, it's just too much of a pain to be doing all these hand gestures. The voice control didn't really work. Like, you had to speak up really loud. The images did not look as clear. And the worst part was the field of view. So they put up this sun in front of you, like where he is, about 5 feet away. And you put this on, you can only see like the middle of the sun. In order to see the whole sun, you gotta step back 10 feet at least, right? This thing is like just wearing a pair of sunglasses that are lightly tinted. I can work on my Macintosh.
Yeah, I just wanted to step into the tilt brush thing. Actually, when you export the tilt brush FBX, particles still are not in the same way, deploying the same way. Do you see possibilities that we get this really crisp and neat look of tilt brush?
When I look at it, it's very good, right? One thing I told them is there's no text in the art program, and so I gotta like draw up the text, you know? So they just like, you know, Macintosh had like some text in the paint program. Like I would have like a text with some cool fonts, but like me or you could go into Unity and make that in C# and make an app. Or I can make an app with computer vision, or like to control the camera and do it right in Unity and then control the camera. And it's super cool. What else?
So the image quality, the contrast, the brightness.
Yeah, the thing is, just like they say, you cannot compare this at all from looking at the 2D because it's flat. And after using this for a whole month, it's like we have been in a 2D world for too long, man. Like film is like 100 years old. We're talking, you're filmed in 3D, you're 3D, and you're filmed in 3D, but you're 2D, and then you're put on these 2D flat screens for 100 years, and then TV, and then the internet, and then these flat screens, and this just takes all that away. And Google really wanted to do that with the Google Glass, and you know, it's like free yourself from the you know, having to be on your mobile phone all day and looking down. You're free. This really makes it free, Dad.
Yeah, that's why they invested $500 million into.
Yeah. Google's in there, a few others.
Yeah. So the image quality, is it brighter in the headset? Is
It's
contrast
more
greater?
vivid. Yeah, much more. It just looks real. Now it does have that ghost-like silhouette a lot of times, but then it depends on your creativity on the contrast of the colors you use, kind of model you use, room, lighting in the room. You have to take in all those factors just like you do with film, you know? But you can really, I mean, some things, like I had that, the stormtrooper looked really good, kind of far away in the dark. The green, like, teddy bear thing looked really green. You can't see behind it. It's like a whole VR overlay if you get the right colors, you know?
So whites and yellows show up really well.
On the browser, white's a little too bright. I'd say that bony of the T-Rex, the bone of the T-Rex in this kind of a lighting just looks spectacular. The whale will look really good in this lighting, but it'll look more a little, you know, translucent or ghost-like. But it all comes down to how you want to use the creativity with the space and the lighting, basically. But I mean, you know, most people are saying that you don't really want to go with photorealistic for augmented reality. Most people, like these people, want to go more cartoony because you don't really want to mimic the real world. You want to have that cartoon, like, different, so it stands out a little more. But I could, you know, they're coming out with cool stuff. Like they're going to have it where you can look up at a street sign in a different language and it'll just translate it like Google, like right before your eyes. I can't wait till that thing comes